Livestream audio test. Livestream audio test. Livestream audio test.
Okay, good afternoon everyone. It is 3 o'clock on Thursday the 2nd of November. Welcome to the adjourned executive meeting. So colleagues will recall that we adjourned the meeting before considering one report on the bus service improvement plan, design and build contract from the meeting that we held a couple of weeks ago, and this is a single item on the agenda for this afternoon. Just to remind everyone that, as usual, this is being streamed on YouTube, and we have got some colleagues who are joining on Teams to listen in and obviously ask questions or make comments if they wish. In particular, one of our exec colleagues, Annemieke Waite, is on Teams, so I know that because of the weather conditions it was not appropriate for her to travel from deepest, darkest Winford. So, but Annemieke is present, and otherwise we've got the full lineup of exec members in the room. So, as this is an adjourned meeting, I don't need to go through the same procedures from last time. So I will go straight to the only item of business, which is the BSIP Design and Build Contract Report, and hand over to Councillor Hannah Young to introduce the item, please.
Thank you, Mike. The recommendation of the paper is for the award of the Bus Service Improvement Plan Design and Build contract to Allen Griffiths Contractors. Just very briefly, I'd like to say that the Bus Service Improvement Plan infrastructure proposals have been developed over a long period working through our enhanced partnership, which we discussed in the earlier part of this adjourned meeting. And that's the legal framework that we operate in with the West of England Combined Authority and bus service operators to make sure that we have a network that operates across the area that's obviously wider than North Somerset. And just as a reminder, North Somerset has been allocated full grant funding to cover the projected costs of the schemes that are covered by this project. By this contract. There's been a full procurement process which has been described in the paper, and the schemes that are covered by this, which is the second phase of the bus service infrastructure schemes, are listed in the paper also. It's not for the full number of schemes that have been proposed as part of the improvement plan in total. So the contract commits the council, and this is, I think, very important for people to understand, to undertaking the work to design these 10 schemes, and design will include a process of consultation, testing the projected benefits through modelling, and amending the current initial designs where necessary. And then there is flexibility within the contract not to continue beyond the design element of any of the individual schemes if it's not going to achieve the projected benefits, or there is another reason why the council does not want to progress. So although the award is up to £15.4 million, it does not necessarily mean that that is the full amount that will be spent as part of this contract. I think this council's been very clear, this partnership administration has been very clear that consultation and the way we engage and being open and transparent with our communities is critical to the way that we operate in future. And so that will be taking place as part of the decisions that we take about the schemes going forward. And we will be obviously engaging in the way that we proposed in the paper approved at the early part of this adjourned meeting through that design phase. So with that in mind, I would like to propose two additional amendments, an amendment with two additional recommendations to add to the paper that you have within the pack. And if I could just read them out for those watching who haven't had the chance to see those already. So the first is a second recommendation for the paper that the Executive Member for Highways and Transport, in consultation with the Executive, formally approve scheme progression of individual BSIP infrastructure schemes to implementation stage after completion of the design and consultation phase, thus providing a gateway opportunity to decide whether schemes should proceed or not to implementation. The third recommendation would then be that consultations will be undertaken in accordance with any requirements of the Executive Member for Highways and Transport before the design and consultation phase is deemed complete, and the results of such consultations be reported to the executive member when considering the gateway review set out in recommendation 2. I hope those additional recommendations are clear. In essence, they're designed to ensure that the executive will have an opportunity to consider the stage of moving from design, which is what we're committing to via the contract, to the build stage for any of the individual schemes, and that will take account of consultation as we make that decision. That's all I wish to say on the paper. Very happy to take any questions from members or others.
Thank you, Hannah. And can I have a seconder for the recommendations with the amendment? Thank you, Catherine. Okay, any questions or comments from any colleagues? So I can't see anybody signalling in the room and not online either. I mean, so just really to completely echo and underline what Hannah has said, this is a really important programme that we're engaged in across North Somerset to try and deliver improvements to bus services. It's not just about bus lanes and infrastructure improvements, but also a package of work to support bus services, to promote enhanced bus services and deliver improvements that will create a sustainable bus network for the future. But we're really determined as an administration to do that in a way that listens to the feedback that we get from communities and to work positively with them to deliver the right kind of solutions and the right kind of schemes. So I really appreciate the work that officers and Hannah as the exec member have done to try and get this right and to try and make sure that we progress through the schemes going forward in the right kinds of ways. So, in the absence of any other comments, can I have an... Oh, go on, Mark, you want to come in?
I will. I'll just come in, and I just want to echo that and the thanks, because I think we are in a time, aren't we, where the transition and trying to get people onto these services is tough. It's a really tough ask, and it's not just a tough ask because it's just a lot of work. It's a tough ask because people aren't really ready, but they know they need to. And it's trying to jump over that hurdle, and this is the sort of thing which will hopefully push it across the line, so when people see those services are so much better than they used to be. And I think those of us who were probably less likely to use the bus in the past are now beginning to use the bus because we can see the services are improving, but we still have to go some way, and this will help do that.
Thank you. Hannah?
Just to say thank you for that, and it should be noted that actually even since we started the bus service improvement plan, we are seeing some significant increases in usage of public transport, and I take it as it's not exactly a measure of success to say I get lots of people who are desperate to make sure that their bus is on time and reliable because they really want to use it, but I think it shows a real aspiration that communities do want these services. We hear about it all the time, and it's really important that we get them right, and sometimes that involves some infrastructure changes as well, which is why these are so desperately needed. Thank you, Mark.
Okay, thank you very much. So in which case we've had the recommendations and the amendment, so could colleagues indicate their support for those proposals, please? Thank you very much. That's unanimous. So with that, I am able to close the meeting, and I appreciate everyone's time and effort in coming together. Thank you very much.